Hi, I'm Dr. Archer Crosley. Welcome to Real World Pediatrics. So today I wanted to talk about school testing and stress. Okay, I think it's important for kids to take it easy in school, academically speaking. And parents can go a long way in helping their children in this regard. I know that many kids want to be number one in their class, but I'm not sure I believe in competition when it comes to learning. I think it's more important that a student, and that includes all of us, understand the matter at hand. What you or your child want to gain is a comprehension and facility within the subject matter. It's more important that your child learn how to use key facts rather than memorizing tons of irrelevant facts. Now, unfortunately, the testing system today emphasizes the latter. And I think this has several harmful effects. Number one, kids are learning facts in order to spit them back out on a test, rather than using them to solve problems and thinking through issues. It's very difficult to create creativity and imagination on a standardized test. Number two, these tests tend to commoditize children. As such, children equate their identity and self-worth to what the test score says. And unfortunately, this goes too far. Stress accelerates to an unhealthy degree when children are studying for these standardized state tests. Now, when I was a kid, there was no mandatory standardized state test that actually counted for anything. And yet, we all got a good education. Now, here's some facts about stress when it comes to school. And this comes from Google AI, and I'll put it on the screen up there and I'll summarize. A significant portion, 75%, report feeling stressed about schoolwork, and 49% experience a great deal of stress on a daily basis. And this stress is often linked to academic performance. Now, we don't want children to hate school. We want children to like school. We want children to become engaged. We also don't want children to become depressed when their grades are low because they didn't test well. Now, it's a fact of life that some children just don't do well on a test, even though they understand the material. Now, as for me, I always did well in these tests, but I never felt as if I had a full comprehension of the matter at hand. Now, many of my classmates in medical school seem to have a better comprehension, but they couldn't do as well in these tests. We don't want idiot savants who can perform novelty tricks by remembering mountains of useless facts. What we want are students who are competent in taking a few amount of key facts and using them to solve real-world problems. This is a healthier approach. Imagination, as Einstein said, is more important than knowledge. Who's going to argue with Einstein? Not me. When competition is taken to its extreme, good students can become extraordinarily depressed as they transition from high school to college. This is magnified by school slogans like "no excuses" and "failure is not an option." Now, not too long ago, there was a young girl from a school in New Jersey in which my sister was a teacher. This girl was pretty, she was athletic, and she was bright. Now, I'm sure she did well on all her tests because she was accepted into an Ivy League school. When she got to the Ivy League school, however, she struggled. She struggled because she was moving up a level in competition. It's not uncommon for students to struggle when they get to college, and they can struggle for any number of reasons which has nothing to do with their intelligence. But if you are programmed in the school system to attach your identity and self-worth to a test score, it can be very disconcerting when you reach college. And when your mind has been programmed with unworkable slogans like "failure is not an option" and "no excuses," the pressure is even greater. Unfortunately, this young girl did not have the experience of a 50-year-old or a 60-year-old. And consequently, she took her own life. Now, this is what we want to avoid. And yes, I do think that the drive to compete, the drive to be number one, created this toxic environment for herself and many others. So the moral of the story is to take it easy while in high school. Lessen your extreme concern about the grades. Focus on fully understanding what's going on within the subject material and how you can apply your education to solve real-world problems. Now let's use Albert Einstein as an example. Einstein was a good student, but he was not the star of his class. One of his professors even labeled him a lazy dog. And Einstein did not even go to a top-tier school. Nevertheless, we all know what his accomplishments were. Einstein wasn't much for memorizing a bunch of useless facts. In fact, one time, years later, when he was talking to a group of people, a student asked him about a particular constant in physics. Einstein was a little perturbed, and he said to the student, "Why should I waste my brain energy memorizing some relatively obscure constant that I can easily look up in a book?" I want you to think about that. Albert Einstein did not waste his time memorizing esoteric facts so that he could spit them back on a test. What mattered to him was using core knowledge to solve real-world problems. So in summary, take it easy in school and forget about being number one. Thank you.